right, so after a year in Afghanistan, actually a little more than a year, it is time to go home. I could stay and make a little more money, but quite frankly, there's places I'd rather be than Bagram. So I am about to DeMob. That's what we call it when we leave our jobs here and go back to wherever we came from. Last couple days here, about to go get a haircut and a shave, get rid of the little neck beard I got going, and here we go. Haircut done. It's a little bit more of a haircut than I was expecting, but it's Bagram. You get what you get. And now I'm out processing. That's what we call it when you're getting all your signatures and doing all your paperwork for leaving. It's also referred to as clearing. So basically what I got to do is run around and get a bunch of different departments to sign off that I don't still have tools or other government property or anything like that. And then I can fly. I should be flying out of here tomorrow. They won't tell me what airline I'm flying on, what time I'm flying, any of that information until tomorrow morning. So, I mean, I know I'm flying out of Bagram on a company called DFS to Dubai, but then getting home from Dubai, I find out when I find out. That's just the way it works. It's not ideal, but when you are demobbing and waiting for them to pay for your flight home, you just got to put up with it. So I'm not sure when I'll upload this. Probably not till I get to Ecuador. Maybe I'll get it done in Dubai, but I doubt it. So once you see this, I'll be long gone. So a few thoughts on Afghanistan before I go. It's my second time here. The U.S. has been here for 17 years as of this month, and at its peak had 150,000 soldiers. Right now there's about 15,000. We spent $900 billion, at least that's the official figure. Whether there's some black budgets in there that aren't counted, I don't know. And we're at a point where things are getting worse. Once we turned leadership of the fight over to the Afghans and the U.S. coalition stepped back into a advise and train role, things started going downhill. There's entire cities and some bases that have been overrun by the Taliban. ISIS is here now. And the sentiment amongst the Afghans, amongst Afghan soldiers that are supposedly on our side, and just the people in the street, the sentiment is one of wondering how it's possible that the U.S. hasn't been able to defeat something like the Taliban. They're suspicious. There's a lot of conspiracy theories going around, and a lot of the people here are starting to feel like they were better off under the Taliban. They didn't like the Taliban, but they're starting to feel like what they have now is actually worse. So I try not to get into politics on this channel. In fact, I don't get into politics on this channel. It's not what it's about. So I'm not going to tell you what to think about it. I'm just going to try to stick with the facts of what I see and what is. That's the Afghanistan that I am leaving. And I hope things change for the better here. But my sense is that they won't. First stop done. Bagram to Dubai. So I was just walking past. I gotta walk back and look at this. The snooze cube. What a great idea. I don't even know how much it costs. I don't want to ask because it'll probably just make me sad, but snooze cube. Alright, made it to London, Heathrow Airport. It's not my favorite airport. It's huge. It takes a long time to get from one terminal to the other. Gotta take a bus. Not the worst airport in the world, but definitely not my favorite. And Miami, last layover. And now finally I'm back in Quito. About to go get some ceviche, which is one of my favorite foods in Ecuador. And just relaxing, getting used to being here again, getting used to the altitude because Quito is at it's around 9,000 feet. It's pretty high up, so it's taking a little bit of adjustment, but it's really good to be home. So now that I'm home, one last kind of serious thing I want to talk about in this video, and that is adjusting back to life after contracting or being a soldier in Afghanistan or any other war zone. I guess talking about PTSD. Something I've been thinking a lot about, and it's not like a toggle switch. It's not either on or off. It's kind of a dial that gets cranked up by many experiences. Some of them major events, things that are real traumatic, but sometimes it's just lots of little things. It's, daily stress of incoming alarms and things like that. So what I experienced, the things I went through in Afghanistan this time, there was no one moment that was dramatic, though last time I was there were some events that were pretty extreme. This time it was just that daily stress, incoming alarms going off, just kind of a constant sense of not being totally at ease. And, I hesitate to call it PTSD. I think that term gets misused. What I experienced certainly is nothing close to what, a soldier in combat likely goes through. But it's something similar, and I don't have a better term for it. And what I recognize in myself, for example, I'm on the plane coming back, and there's two women sitting behind me that would not stop talking. They just nonstop stream of noise coming out of their mouths, and it was putting me on edge, and I felt myself feeling confrontational and wanting to turn around and say something to them. And I had to kind of stop and think, all right, why is this bothering me so much? It's a little bit annoying, yeah, but I'm overreacting. I'm experiencing stress from it, and I'm thinking about turning around and saying something rude to them, and there's no reason. It's just, okay, I got to stop and recognize this is one of those reactions where before I spent time in Afghanistan, I probably would not have even noticed. So recognizing those moments, recognizing that it's more of a struggle to be calm and patient when things are stressful. Recognizing that something as little as like a thunderstorm can increase that tendency to overreact. So it's part of the price that you pay for working in a war zone, is that you're more likely to experience some effects afterwards that you would not from a normal job. It's not, I don't know that it's necessarily, at least for me, it's not something to like run to a doctor about, or it's just something to recognize, talk about. Sometimes if you just pay attention to it, you become aware of it, and you can stop yourself from reacting in a negative way. I'd love to hear what other people that are in similar situations have to say about this. So feel free to say something in the comments. And the next videos are going to be from Ecuador. I'm now back in Ecuador. I've got some big plans for some videos I want to create. exploring up in the mountains, and also hopefully I'd like to take a trip down into the Amazon side of Ecuador, maybe take a river trip. So I look forward to sharing all that with you, and thanks for watching the video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.